In this tutorial, I like to explain you how important it is to work non-destructive. For me, it's very important. I have here a PSD file, and the PSD file is absolutely non-destructive. That means all the changes, all the effects are on layers, adjustment layers. I named that all, and I put the layers into groups, so I can change everything in the picture, and that's a very big advance. When the client will see my final picture and the client will say, I don't like the position of the moon, no problem, I can change that. So I go to the moon right here, change the move tool, and then I can move the whole group right here and change the position of the moon. If the client think their highlight right here is a little bit too much, no problem. I go into the painting with light group, into the highlights. Then I choose highlight knee, and I can select the move tool and change the position of the highlight here on the knee. And that's a very, very big advance. At the beginning, when you start retouching with Photoshop, okay, it's a little bit difficult, but try to learn that. Now, I'm finished with this file. What I like to do now is I like to sharpen the image, but I like to sharpen the image non-destructive. So I can't sharpen right here, that's the rain. I like to sharpen the whole image, but how can I sharpen the whole image non-destructive? No problem. You have to work with a smart object. You can turn some layers into a smart object, and when you have a smart object and you use a filter, you can always change the filter in the settings. No problem. But what you can also do is you can turn your whole layers, all this PSD file, into a smart object. So press the Shift key and mark all these layers, and now go to Filter, Convert for Smart Filters. Now the whole PSD file turns into a smart object. Now you can sharpen the image. I use here the unsharp mask, and I like to sharpen the image now. Something like that. I oversharp the image right now that you can see what happened here. Normally I don't sharpen the image like that. Normally I sharpen the image with the radius about 0.7 and about 100. But I like to oversharp the image that you can better see the result and what happened. So I use something like that. I click OK. And now when the client will say, hey, the moon, I don't like the position of the moon. Can you change that? No problem. Just double click on this icon, and then you will see your whole PSD file. You can change now the position of the moon with the move tool like I showed you before. Maybe something like that. And then you have to close this file. Don't forget to save this changes what you did here. I click Save, and look now what happened. The moon changed his position, but the sharpening is still in the picture. So what I like to explain you is, if you have a whole PSD files with many layers, you don't have to merge them together. You don't have to flatten the PSD file. Convert all your layers into a smart object, and then you can keep on going with using some filters and much more. And that's working non-destructive.